I am a man with a plan. And that plan consists of weighing some calves. This probably wants cleaning out at some point as well. That could be a addition to the plan. But our new calves that you've seen us rearing on milk are looking like they're doing very well, so just want to give them a quick weigh through the crush whilst we got a bit of time this afternoon. Make sure they're all heading in the right direction. I think they are. The proof is always in the pudding, as they say. So just going to run a load of them across here. We are going to have to deploy some hurdles because this tractor has decided to stop in a very unfavourable position, right in the way of that gate. What do we reckon? Oh, what can possibly go wrong? Right, I need to set up some decent ones here as well. Well, it looks like an absolute monstrosity, but I think it'll work. Some of them have gone over there already. Oh. Phew. Come on. This one here and the white one there were the two that I did treat with Draxon for pneumonia before I went away. So it'll be interesting to see how they've done. They would be the two that I would have thought haven't done so well, but we will soon find out here. Just weighed this first pen of calves here. There they are to look at. John's just getting another pen in back there. And the survey says average weight of 104 kilos at 13 weeks old. An average daily gain of 767 grams. I'm happy with that, so hopefully they all continue to do that sort of growth rate. John said there's one back there with a bad eye, so we need to jab that one when it comes in. Right, rather annoyingly, my GoPro decided to not work due to lack of battery. Although it said it had 50% battery, the old batteries I have are rubbish, they don't work. So we did the other pens, you saw us earlier, we've done 4 pens. I will take some screenshots of what they've done and put them up in a minute and show you all their weights, but they're all growing well, or they seem to be growing well, so that's good. These guys and then a pen of British Blues in a minute. And that'll be them all weighed. Hoping these will just run up this alleyway here. A minute. Hello.
Oh buddy, here we go. What was the heaviest last time you got?
Heaviest animal?
Yeah.
About 130.
Is it?
Yeah.
That was in this group, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant out of those 4 pens. I can't remember. Just over 100, I think. Right. Let the weighing begin. We now have the last group in the race here, which is the group of all blues. We were toying with the idea of shaving their backs, but they are all dry. There's not a single one of them that's sweating. The idea behind shaving a back on a cow or a bullock or whatever is that you allow them to breathe, but if any of these were damp or sweaty along their sort of spine here, we would look at shaving them so they could breathe and sweat. What you don't want is them getting wet and then damp. That's when you get like problems with pneumonia. But because they're all dry, we're not going to do it because there's no point. When we weigh them again in a month's time, we'll look at possibly doing it then. This group are some of the biggest by far. They're averaging somewhere around 110 kilos. This one's 130 nearly. Doing nearly a kilo a day each, which is good. Considering they're just getting hay and nuts, it's not too bad. John's just gone off in the telehandler. We're going to change up the way we're feeding them. That's Mr. Jones.
No.
What's on?
You're not moving these from me?
No, I've got about 12 more to weigh and then I'll run them back in there.
Just drop the speed off.
Splendid. So we've moved all the troughs in front of the pens. We've taken them out. We're going to experiment with putting a couple bales of hay in the wagon and milling it up and seeing if we can feed along the front there with hay and then feed them the cake on top. What that will mean is they all have access all the time to some form of hay. At the minute they're about 5 or 6 can feed at a time, but they've got ad lib hay, so there's always feed on offer. They just can't all always access it. So hopefully that'll be an improvement. I think they're looking quite well. I don't know what you guys think. Whether you'd like to let me know in the comments. Anyway, we'll get these done. Right, there's a good one to finish on, even if he did decide to enter the crush backwards. 142 kilograms, doing a kilo a day growth. Very, very good animal. Well, happy with you guys. Right, we'll just shut them in there for a minute so they can't escape. I'll just turn off all the equipment here and I'll go over and stand in front of the pens and tell you what each group's done growth weight wise. Right, so I am back in the shed with all the calves here. I need John's hand to run the last penful back, so we'll do that in a moment. But we'll just go through how all the calves did. So I've got some screenshots, I'll put them up on the screen so you can see them as I'm talking through. The first pen we did, average weight of 104 kilos. What have I done now? Heaviest animal, 132 kilos, average daily gain of 767 grams. Happy with that. The next pen behind me here, average weight 114, heaviest 133, average 729 grams. Again, very happy with that. They're all very similar. Next pen along, average 108, heaviest 129, average 770. You can hopefully see on the screenshots as well how long they've been on farm and the average age of the calves. Next pen along, this is the mixed blues and Angus's. Average weight 102, heaviest 127, average daily gain 772. That is the ones that were weaned whilst I was away on honeymoon, so really happy that they're doing just as well as everything else. This pen of Angus's behind me here, they're doing very well. Average 117, heaviest 150, average 856. So they are flying along. They actually come from the dairy farm I used to work on, so you know, obviously bred good cows. And then the last pen that we've just done, which is the full pen of blues. So looking on the screen now, average weight 116, heaviest 142, average daily gain 831 grams. Now I have absolutely no complaints about that whatsoever. If they do that all winter, I'll be absolutely chuffed. Yeah, so hopefully they carry on like that. There's no reason why they won't. Just go and see how John's getting on. I think we've had a load of cake arrive. The cake that we feed these guys, we've got an extra load delivered now before Christmas because obviously we will need it, and trying to get it over Christmas might not be very easy. So we're gonna keep it in the grain store so we've got it. If we need to top up the hopper there, we can. And that saves being left without any. Where are you off to? Oh no, oh no. I would be more helpful, but someone's got to hold the camera. So.
Oh yeah. You're actually flocking it. Yeah.
Don't speak too soon. We have a nice clean slate to start with now for feeding the calves again. This is all new hay, we only put this here yesterday so that it could stay. I'm just going to fork this bale here around in front of these guys, and then the mix is nearly done. John will come in and feed the pen down there. There's a bit of hay in front of those, it's all right down there. And all these down here, they can have some new fresh hay out the wagon. Hopefully it will feed all right out of the wagon. It's been mixed with a tiny bit of clam silage just to get it to mix properly. And if that works, we'll continue doing that. It'll be a, yeah, I think it'll be a better job than only like 3 or 4 of them being able to feed from the bale at a time. But we'll see. Remind me in the comments to bin off the battery I'm using in this GoPro, because it's just turned itself off at 60% again. I do need to buy some new ones. Living technology. Let's go see if this mix is done. Just whilst we're walking, we went over to the new bull shed this morning with the architect and the guys that built it, as well as Dan, who's head of site, and Bruce, farm manager, and just put our concerns that we had about it forwards, which they all agreed with. We've come up with some solutions as to how we're going to get it all to work better for what we wanted to do. So hopefully before too long we'll be in the new shed. It's only a matter of turning a couple gates so they hung on different posts, and actually taking a few gates away, putting in a couple bits of dung boarding in various places, and that was it. It's being a bit teasy about coming out the wagon, but what is coming out looks good. If this works, we'll do a bigger mix tomorrow. Another thing, whilst we're walking, I floated the idea about on the live stream I did the other night, but how would people feel about me, Dr. Phil and John doing a bit of a podcast where we basically just talk nonsense, or we could talk about anything people want us to talk about. Might be able to persuade Phil's arm to getting us to host it at his place round on his workshop or something, and I thought that might be quite entertaining for people. If you think it's a rubbish idea, let me know that as well. Right. God, it certainly smells good. So this is what we're left with. Really, really nice and soft, that hay. Bit of grass silage with it as well. They're all digging in. Right, we're gonna chuck the cake now on top. That'll be the plan going forward, so I'll do that. One last job for today is to move that new load of cake that has arrived up into the grain store. It's been tipped in the silage pit. It was actually delivered by somebody I know from my old job. It's funny how you bump into people places. We actually bumped into somebody in Sydney that Abby works with, like crossing the road, physically bumped into them on the other side of the world. How mad is that? The other nice thing about the way we're feeding this now is we'll be able to come down and push it in with the wheel when we push up last thing in the beef shed. So you haven't got to come down and continuously fork hay around anymore. So there is the cake. It's going up there. John's already on top of the job by the looks of it. That'll keep that nice and dry and away from any rodents. We've got about 1 item of wheat left here. I don't know whether we'll sell it or feed it yet. Yeah, we are feeding a fair bit of wheat, but the animals we're feeding it to will start to go soon, so whether we sell that last load or feed it, I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments about podcasts with John and Phil. I think it's a good idea. I think it'll be quite funny. We'll just ramble on about a load of rubbish. But if you have any thoughts, put them below. Check out all the links down in the description if you get a chance, and we'll see you guys on another video very soon. Cheerio.